What is up, Buttercup? Welcome to your general timeless reading. This is for all Sag placements, so take what resonates, leave the rest, and don't force it to fit. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. My name is Jordyn. I'm a master Reiki practitioner and shamanic healer. But let's get into it. Let's see what's going on for you. And energies can be reversed. We all have masculine and feminine energy, so it's energy, not gender. Sag. Okay, they showed me somebody rock climbing. I've heard forward progress though too. This feels really difficult. Lovers in reverse, the Chariot, Justice, and the World. Wow, a lot of majors, all majors actually. Gemini, Cancer, Libra, Sag, Capricorn for me as a reader with the World in reverse. So it's very distant is how I would describe it. Like as a reader, it feels very distant. It doesn't feel like something you're probably feeling right now. This feels like something that's coming in. It feels like you're in the midst of this, of releasing. This could be a relationship. Doesn't have to be romantic. The Lovers is about decisions and choices though. So this could also be bringing to light certain decisions that need to be made so you can release people and situations that no longer serve you, because you're moving into a cycle that's more aligned with you. With Justice there, okay, some of you are going to be moving or signing a contract on a new house or a piece of property or a job. The Chariot, okay, some of you, this definitely, okay, this has a lot to do with finances. So if this has to do with merging your finances, if you're moving in with somebody, if you're getting a new house, they just keep showing me like bank paperwork, which is really interesting. With the World in reverse, whatever you're moving away from, it's not like it's ending. So if you're moving away from a form your relationship has taken, the relationship itself is not ending, but it's going to shift into a new form. So if this is you leaving, like living separately, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, we're going to get engaged, we're going to live together. That's what this would be, right? So you're moving into this space of partnership or a higher commitment. So if it's not a romantic relationship, if this is something platonic, this could be you taking on a new job. It could be you finding a roommate. It could be you committing to something with yourself and realizing that something needed restructuring and had to come back into balance in your life. I like this for you. Let's see what else we got for you. Knight of Cups, Nine of Wands, Queen of Swords, Four of Wands. I don't like that energy. I don't like it, not just because it's reversed, because sometimes reversals to me are very internal. It feels manipulative. It feels, okay, so this, okay, we're going to talk about you. They have a very potent energy. I like them. I think I like them as a person. They're in their shadow. Obviously, they're reversed. But in their shadow, their fear, their insecurities turns into manipulation. They're scared of being vulnerable. Yeah, this is vulnerable conversation. It's very difficult. This is not a dynamic. They're not used to having healthy conversations. This might be something or somebody who, this is a very overwhelming. Sorry if I'm talking faster. It's very, this feels like a trauma response. Thank you. High Priestess, bottom of the deck. High Priestess is what's hidden or what is not seen. The subconscious mind, things that are buried, right? Like our traumas, the things that we put behind a closed door in a filing cabinet because we don't want to see them again. This is getting triggered for this person in this relationship. That's not a fun place to be. They're not bad. The relationship's not going anywhere. It's very solid foundation, actually. It's just it's a very difficult time because it's challenging somebody to step up into a new version of themselves. Not step up in the sense of like they're not enough, because they're enough as they are, but it's step up in the sense of like show up for yourself, own your shit and show up for yourself, quite frankly, right? Sorry. How to say it. Okay, let's see what else is going on here for you, my dear. Let's look at the Lovers. Why is the Lovers here? It's a very playful energy, which is weird because you're getting a lot of majors. And I think it feels playful because when we come into alignment with our soul, things that resonate with us are fun. They're playful because we're meant to incarnate, to enjoy, to experience life, right? We're here to experience the polarity of like the hurt and the pain, but we're meant to find the pleasure in that duality, okay? Death is Scorpio energy. Yeah, this relationship's just coming out of a state of conflict. This could also be signifying that somebody's coming out of a state of fight or flight. I like that. I like that a lot. That's very healthy. I think that whoever you're dealing with, if this is who you're dealing with, they're stealing your reading. If this is you, this is all about you in regards to the dynamic you're in. It can be romantic or platonic, but it's just in regards to that dynamic. So let's look at the Chariot. I feel like overwhelming sadness coming. Okay, so here's the purge. So we had the Joy. This is where Spirit's trying to take this person into... This is very foreign. This is very uncomfortable for whoever this is. It's almost like they're used to chaos, or they're used to like struggle or things being difficult. This is, somebody's coming out of fight or flight. And when that happens, the body is the last thing to get on board. So the mind will get on board, the emotional heart will get on board. But the nervous system, the physical body, is what's typically last. And so it's sending all these signals to the brain like, oh my God, it's not right, it's not safe. Yeah, the Lovers, it's about this relationship. But really what's happening is that they're entering a new way of relating, a new way of loving and identifying with love. Not love as an emotion, but love as an energy, right? So if you identified love with this feeling of I need to protect myself, or I'm not safe, or no, love is painful, or it's deceptive, or it's physically painful, or sexually like painful, abusive, things of that nature, redefining it. This is a very deeply rooted healing process. Very deeply rooted. Very, very strong connection. And yeah, I just think that this person's really helping, whoever they're in partnership with is the person I'm referring to, is helping them, who the reading's about, go through this healing. They're showing them that love can heal. Three of Swords. They're showing them that this hurt and pain it's not always going to be present in every single dynamic. Okay, so let's look at Justice. Nice Justice here for Sag. Ooh, it just got like, I literally could feel it like through the camera. People are like, it's getting really quiet. It's getting really serious. And I can feel it in the room too. Justice, we have the King of Wands in reverse. Don't back away just yet. Because I think some of you, there's more to come at the end of this that you're going to need. I don't honestly say that often in my reads. I feel like a lot of people are like, this is moving too slow for me. It's moving slow because there's a lot of new energy coming in. And when new energy comes in, it takes a reader a minute to differentiate what's present energy, what's current, because tarot reads energy, and what's things that you're about to experience. This is old, for instance. This is an old energy. This is the new energy. The old energy, this is the triggered self, right? So naturally, this person actually feels very feminine, which is probably why they don't want to identify or see, right, High Priestess, this Queen of Swords part of them, or they might get stuck in their thought a lot because they naturally move in a very distorted masculine way, which is why this manipulative behavior came across. Distorted masculine and its fear and its insecurities can be controlling, manipulative, dictator-like, just not, it's not healthy, but any energy that's distorted, anything in excess is not healthy. But in particular, a King of Wands. Wands are great with energy. So they're really good at manipulating energy or just manipulation in general. The King of Wands, Queen of Wands, Page, Knight of Wands, and Magician are all master manifestors, which means that they're great at manipulating energy to manifest what it is they want. In their shadow, they're doing it in a really unhealthy way. And for this individual, it's through their hurt and pain. It's not that they intentionally or consciously are doing this, but this is what they're being guided to heal, right? And so they might have new relationships coming in. They don't need to be romantic. This could be like a counselor, or it could be a good friend, or it could be if they're suffering with addiction or something, it could be them going into a center that allows them to meet people that help them in their recovery, right? So let's look at the World. We have the Nine of Wands in reverse, the Five of Wands. So there's a Four of Wands energy, and that's what's at the end. Oh, okay, this is old. This is old. Okay, so whoever they're in a relationship with, they're pushing, that person that they're in a relationship with is pushing every single button of this person's deepest wounds, like their deep childhood wounds. And it's almost like, oh my gosh, they're dangerous, they're wrong, they're doing that, and it's not. They're pushing things that have never been healed, right? That need to be healed. And it's making somebody want to like give up, tap out. They're getting exhausted, but they're not seeing like the full picture of it. It's almost like they're fighting for this new foundation, but they're fighting to build a foundation with somebody else when really the purpose is for them to build a foundation within themselves. So let's look at the Knight of Cups. Let's see what this is about. I feel like this is the partner of the queen of the king, because they're the same person. It's just they're masculine and feminine. I feel like the knight is the partner. They feel like they keep this relationship at a distance right now. Page, knight, yeah. They do. They're trying to keep it very surface level because they're very confused. They're like, I don't understand why you think this relationship's so bad or so difficult. Like, I'm not getting it, because it's not really the relationship. It is, in a sense. It is, because it's pushing all the same buttons. But the relationship is showing this person what needs to be healed within them. And when they heal that, they'll stop viewing the relationship through the lens of these wounds and start viewing the relationship as is, right? Because let's put it this way. If we want to be angry at somebody, anything they do and say, we're going to see in a bad light. Like, if we want to anticipate hurt and pain, we're going to see everything as a threat of potential hurt and pain. So they're slowly shifting out of it. And so even though they might be seeing in their own mind, right, this is very hurtful, this is very painful, and it's confusing this person about the partnership. This person's also getting confused because they're like, I thought I was being loving. Look, they got the Knight of Cups twice and the Page of Wands. They're trying to be playful. They're trying to be lighthearted. They're trying to be authentic. They're just very confused. They're like, I don't know what to do here. I don't know what to do here. Bottom of the deck, Empress in reverse. Yeah. The thing is that this energy, the Queen and the King of Wands, this person, they're not receptive to love right now because they deem love painful. They deem it difficult. They deem it something that is experienced in a really unhealthy way. Let's look at the Nine of Wands. Justice. I like this. They're very stabilizing for whoever this is. They are very stabilizing. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Yeah, Four of Swords. They know that this person's just going to need time. With the Four of Swords, you got triple Libra right here. Queen of Swords, Four of Swords, and Justice. All Libra energy, which is the sign of partnership. So if you have a lot of Libra in your chart, which regardless if you have a lot of it or not, maybe check out what house Libra is in for you. So if it's in the house, if it's in the 7th house, it's going to be your partnership. If it's in the 1st house, it's going to be in self, which is across from partnership. So you have a cause and effect in either or. Same thing with the 8th house. So if this is about property or intimacy, sex, shared resources, taxes, business ventures, contracts, things of that nature, Libra might be your 8th house, which in turns means that the change is going to happen there and you'll see the effect of it in your personal 2nd house, right? Of your individual finances and things of that nature. So let's look at the Queen of Swords. Let's see what their deal is. Yee! Okay. They're holding on to the idea that everybody is supposed to come in and save them, right? They're supposed to be saved. They're supposed to be fixed. They're supposed to be helped, assisted. Because typically the Three of Pentacles is the card of collaboration. In this particular deck, it's alone. They're like, I want people to come and assist me. I want people to come and help me. But they're not receptive to other people because they're constantly protecting themselves. Four of Pentacles. And ironically, they're holding on to the idea that people should be showing up and helping them. But how are people going to show up if you keep your door shut? If you don't open to them? So they're constantly waiting and waiting and waiting. What they're waiting for is somebody to knock the effing door down and fight for them when really they need to show people that they're receptive to it. Even if they do fight for them, right? That they're receptive to it. Because if they're not receptive, regardless of the other person's fight, they're not going to see it. They're not going to hear it. They're not going to acknowledge it. Not going to take part in it. So this is about them protecting their own heart and what they do to feel safe, which is why it's Pentacles. Pentacles are our foundations, right? So your physical self, your mental, emotional, spiritual health, right? Let's look at the Four of Wands. Empress, yeah. Very solid foundation, but somebody's struggling with codependency. Because codependency is not always like it's defined as being dependent on another. They are dependent on another to save them, right? So that's why I say it's codependency. Also, the Empress in reverse is my card of codependency. It's someone who either gives too much or is struggling to receive and they give all to themselves. So there's an excess somewhere. So they might people please. They might be really scared of conflict. They might be really scared of setting healthy boundaries because they're scared of being abandoned or rejected. If they set a boundary and then somebody doesn't like that boundary, which is natural when you start setting boundaries to piss people off. They're going through all of these lessons and this relationship's really triggering them with that. Yeah. So if they're it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy, which is crazy. Not crazy, it's actually very common. You know, if we think and feel the worst is going to happen, then we're telling the universe that we're ready for it. Stop preparing for it. Expect the best. right? So this person, they're accustomed to being in this codependent dynamic that triggers faulty foundations, right? With that 10 of Pentacles there. But this foundation is not faulty. And so it's uncomfortable for them. So they're trying to act in a way and act in a way. And it's actually confusing this person they're interacting with, because the way that they're acting is rooted in old parts of them that are screaming to be healed. And this person's like, I can't reach inside of them and do it. They got to do it themselves. So they're kind of at a loss. This is eventually going to come to an end. The two will come together. Everything will work out fine. But somebody's got to learn to love themselves before they have a 10 of Cups. They got to have a 9. 9s are about the self. Okay, so they're trying to have stability with other people, but they don't feel stable and safe within their own body, right? Or mind. Let's look at the High Priestess. Mini Empress, Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So it's just telling me that it is this individual who is not seeing the part of them that is very defensive, or is very much so trying to stand up for themselves in a light that's just distorted, right? They might, this is so difficult. It's hard. It's really hard because this is like self-gaslighting. And until we take that blindfold off, you're like someone who's gaslighting, in the moment of them gaslighting, they're not going to think that they're gaslighting. And gaslighting is making somebody question their own reality, right? So if you have someone saying like, if they just tied their shoes, and you're like, well, you just tied your shoes. They're like, I didn't just tie my shoes. And you're like, I literally just saw you tie your shoes. No, I didn't. You're crazy. You're losing your mind. That's gaslighting. Because they're quite literally denying your reality, right? So they're making you question your reality, which in turn triggers into this part of you that does not feel like it can trust itself. And so in that moment though, the person gaslighting, sometimes people who gaslight, they're not doing it to actually cause you mental anguish or to intentionally gaslight. A lot of times people learn it as a behavior, as a protection mechanism, as a defense mechanism, and it's extremely distorted because they're in such a disassociated state that they don't remember their own reality. So anytime someone tells them what just happened, they're like, no, that didn't happen, because they don't remember, because they weren't being present. And so they have the self-gaslighting, then they have the external gaslighting, and it's a very toxic cycle to be in. This person is doing some self-gaslighting. They're telling themselves like, this is not stable, because they're accustomed to relationships that are not stable. They're seeing it through the lens that is way, way old. They're not in the present. They're not seeing that they just tied their shoes. And so when someone's telling them it is stable, you did just tie your shoes. No, it's not. It's horrible. It's bad. It's a hard thing to be in. EMDR is a great form of therapy for this. It's bilateral stimulation that helps people process their trauma and a lot of things. Mental, emotional, and physical trauma can be processed with EMDR. I highly recommend it if this is something that you've experienced, like gaslighting in your childhood, and then in adulthood you lack trust in yourself, which in turn you might not trust yourself to pick people or situations that are right for you. That'd be really helpful. Or just normal talk therapy, or even daily journaling, or keeping small promises to yourself. So keeping a small promise, like every day I'm going to wake up and the first thing I'm going to do is make my bed, right? Do that for 7 days and celebrate yourself for it. Celebrate yourself. And then maybe the next week you add, okay, every day I'm going to make my bed and I'm going to drink a glass of water, right? And keep that promise to yourself. You're going to start realizing that you're showing up for yourself. And then in turn, you are going to start trusting yourself. Okay? I wish you the best. If you want a personal reading, or if you want help on your spiritual journey, you want help on any kind of journey, check out my website. I do have life coaching. I have spiritual life coaching. My background's in biology and psychology. I do tarot. I do energy healing of all sorts, whether it be Reiki, shamanic healing, quantum healing, same thing. Different states of consciousness, and crystal healing. So if you're interested in any of that, check out my website down below. I'd love to work with you, and I wish you the best. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with the people around you, because everybody has a lot more going on, and sometimes they don't even see it themselves. So just be patient, be loving, be compassionate, and I'll see you next time.